Today I want to talk about something super important, and that is binge eating. We're going to talk about what binge eating is, what it is not, and then how we can help prevent binge eating. So go grab some coffee, come on back, and let's talk about how we can stop binge eating. Okay, so let's talk about what actually is binge eating. Binge eating is where you are eating usually in private, right? It's rarely done around other people. It's usually very secretive because you don't want anyone else to know. And while you're binge eating, you're eating every and anything, and you can't stop. You understand that what you are doing, but you cannot stop. It is out of your control. That is binge eating. And if that is you, then first step is I want you to get some professional help with that from a therapist. That is what you need to do first and foremost. Once we do that, now we're going to talk about steps that we can do through our everyday lives to help gain control of our binge eating. So let's talk about that. So the first thing is to help stop binge eating. We've got to stop looking at food as good versus bad. Oh, that's bad. I can't have that. When we start thinking of food in that way, all we can think about is, I want the bad food. Because we're telling ourselves, I'm not allowed to have that. It's bad. It's kind of like when somebody tells you, don't look over there. What's the first thing you want to do? You want to look over there. We're human. That's what we all do, right? When we start labeling foods as good or bad, especially the bad, then we're like, oh, that's all I want. That's all I think about. That's all I want to have. So get rid of that. Food is not good or bad. Food is food. And yes, some foods have more nutrients than others, but that doesn't mean there's not a place for both in our lives. As a matter of fact, a healthy diet includes all kinds of foods. The higher nutrient dense foods and the foods that have maybe no nutrient value to them whatsoever, because that's life. So let's get rid of good food versus bad food and just label it all as food. The second thing, stop over restricting calories. This is super important because this is one of the main causes of binge eating. And here's a great example of how this could play out. For instance, during the week, you are precise, you are spot on every single day, no wiggle room whatsoever. You are eating the bare minimum. You're eating 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories. You are suffering. You're not enjoying yourself. You have kept yourself into a small window of food and a small window of calories. And then the weekend approaches and you can't do it anymore. And so you go hog wild for 2 days. You may sit down and eat a bag of chips, a whole thing of cookies, whatever, because you were so restrictive during the week that you couldn't take it anymore. And you binged on everything that you could get your hands on over the weekend. What I want you to do is to be more modest with your calories during the week. Allow yourselves all kinds of different foods to fit into your calorie guidelines during the week so that you don't feel so restrictive. This is one thing that helps everyone so much, is when you can allow yourself that donut, a couple cookies, whatever it is, so you don't feel so deprived and have to go crazy on the weekends. So stop restricting your calories, stop trying to be so perfect during the week, and include all foods in a modest calorie deficit. Okay, the third thing, eat breakfast. A lot of times what I see is people will not eat breakfast because they say they're not hungry or whatever, and then maybe it's 2 o'clock and they have their first thing to eat, whatever it is. They don't eat much, and by the time dinner comes, you're ravenous because you haven't given your body any nutrition basically the whole day, right? So you get to that bewitching hour right before dinner and you are so hungry, you will eat everything and anything in front of you. And it doesn't have to be like first thing when you get up, but when you learn to eat breakfast, you're going to have more control over your appetite and your nutrition for the rest of the day. So starting off with a good meal out of the gate with protein, some vegetables, something that's going to make you feel good, feel satisfied, feel energetic. Start with that, and then you can pace yourself throughout the rest of the day so that by the time nighttime comes, you're not finding yourself with the pack of Oreos sitting on the couch shoving Oreos in your mouth because you're just hungry all day. So pace yourself throughout the day. Start with eating breakfast. Okay, so the fourth thing is eat bigger meals in general. So often what happens is if you're trying to lose fat, you're going to scale down your meals. You're going to try to create these meals for as few calories as possible. And then maybe you're snacking, munching, or whatever, and then that will get out of control too. The best thing you could do really is focusing on beefing up your meals. More protein, more vegetables, keep you feeling fuller, longer, all of that kind of stuff. But stop focusing on maybe the little bits and pieces of snacks and then get so hungry by the end of the day because you haven't really had a substantial meal. You've just been nibbling and grazing kind of all day. Beef up your meals. Really see how you can increase the amount of protein in each and every one of your meals. Add more vegetables to each and every one of your meals and spread that out through the course of the day. You're going to find the urge to eat is not going to be there as much because those meals are going to keep you feeling fuller and more satisfied and keep you going throughout the course of a day. So again, you don't end up at the end of the day ravenous, eating everything and anything in sight. Okay, and the last one, add space. What does that mean? It just means that if you have the urge to binge, I want you to put some space between the urge and when you actually do it. So if you are feeling the urge to binge, I want you to set your watch timer, whatever, for 20 minutes. Go do something else for 20 minutes. If you could go for a walk, that would probably be your best bet. Go for a walk, but get out of the kitchen, do something for 20 minutes. If after those 20 minutes, when that timer goes off, if you still want to binge, go, do it. Allow yourself to do it. Yes, you heard me right. Allow yourself to do it. If after 20 minutes, you still want to do it. Because what's happening now is you are allowing yourself to actually do it, as opposed to doing it and telling yourself, I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this is bad, I shouldn't be doing this, I need to stop. There will be none of that. Because you're giving yourself permission to do it. So do it. What you might find also is after that 20 minutes, that urge may have dissipated. It may not be as strong. It may have even gone away. And if that's the case, then you say, you know what? I don't need it. I'm good. But if it's still there, as strong as it was, then allow yourself to go ahead and eat whatever it is you wanted to eat, go do it. And what you're going to find, the more you practice that, the more change you're going to see. It will dissipate over time, and it will eventually go away. And then once you go through that cycle of I set my timer, I don't need to binge anymore, and you don't, the empowerment you will feel from that first time will be unbelievable, and that will take you to the next time. There will be times where you will binge, got it. But allow yourself to do it. It feels different, and you oftentimes won't eat the amount that you would have eaten without that space in between the urge and when you actually binged. So these 5 strategies, try all of these 5 strategies to help keep binge eating under control for you. And again, I go back to what I said at the beginning here, and that is, if you are binging frequently and it is out of control, I want you to seek professional help first and foremost. And then we're going to implement these steps. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions ever, please feel free to message me. This is a really important topic, comes up a lot. I want to make sure you get the help you need. Thank you for being here, and we will talk to you soon.